Hello, Scary Dolls. Welcome back to another live show.
Yay.
Hello.
I'm Mandy.
I'm Ashley.
Caro.
And you are listening to Scary Not Scary Podcast live
Live.
from our home
Yay.
because we're all quarantined still.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've been good this time. I listen.
Lies, you're at HEB today.
Well, I had to get food.
She's like,
I gotta survive.
I had to go get my essentials.
Ramen noodles
and hair dye.
and hair dye. Those are the essentials right now.
What is that sound? What is that?
My
Is that my
cat.
mic? Oh.
Oh, it's my cat. He's like playing with this little ball.
So how is everybody doing today? Those of you that just logged on. Good?
Sorry,
Okay.
my cat.
Awesome.
I know. So we were just talking about how I was watching Tiger King because, I was left out. Everybody watched it except for me.
Yeah. You were late.
You a little late, girl.
I was real late. I binged it, though, all day Saturday.
I mean, not like there's anything else to do.
It was funny because when Tim got home, he walked in. I was probably on the second to the last episode. He walked in and he looked at the TV. He looked at me and just shook his head and walked away.
Come on, Tim, join the fun. It's fun.
Funny. Come on, cat, it's fun. So when I was little, I had an imaginary friend, and her name was Kat.
Aww.
This is not a lie. And my uncles always made fun of me because they said that whenever I was playing with her, I would run around like, come on, Kat, it's fun. Come on, Kat, it's fun.
Oh my god. I don't think I ever had an imaginary friend.
I think I did. His name was Panchos.
Pancho?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, so today is all about Haunted Asylums.
Ooh.
So our very first live show, we got a lot of suggestions for us to cover asylums. And I'm not going to lie, I was kind of like, I want this to be a studio episode, but we had to give y'all what y'all want because, we're quarantined and we're at home. So we'll do it on a live show just for you guys.
How exciting.
Because we love y'all.
Because we love you. You know what? There's a lot of haunted asylums, so we'll do it again. It's okay. We can redo this episode with different asylums.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so many literally around the world. Like I read upon one in Tokyo.
Oh yeah, me too.
Ooh, I want to do that one next time. I called it. Haha.
You're so rude. That doesn't count. Just kidding.
Yes, it does. Everybody's my witness. I called it.
Yeah, right. Okay, whatever.
So yes, we're gonna do haunted asylums, and I'm not gonna lie, I was still kind of doing some notes right before we started, because I found some other creepy stories about the one that I'm covering, and I needed to get them written down. And maybe I got scared a couple of times. I will not comment on that. I will not.
See, I'm not the only one.
Or deny that I got scared. Okay, look, only because I was sitting at my dinner table and that there's that huge mirror accent wall that's right behind it.
Yeah.
So I had my back toward, for a moment I thought maybe I saw something, but it was just Tim passing by in the mirror.
Oh my god.
Don't you ever feel though, like, I don't know if it's just me, but like your mirror is hiding like a whole different dimension, like,
yes.
You know what I mean?
This is why I don't like mirrors.
Like,
or
you
like
can look away and there's someone still there, but it's you. I don't know.
Or like late at night, if I have to go and like make the baby a bottle or something, I'll like just keep my head down as I'm walking through the kitchen because there's that big accent mirror that I have, and I don't want to look inside it. Because she always wakes up between 3 and 4 in the morning. And I'm like, why do you have to wake up at that hour?
Nope. Can it be at 2?
No, thank you. Oh, one thing before we get started. So I was home alone yesterday? Yes, yesterday. Sunday. Yes. Sorry, my days are mixed up. I don't know what day it is. What's today, Monday? Yeah. So I was home alone yesterday, and I was downstairs. Me and the baby just woke up. We were watching TV, and then I heard 3 stomps and a bang up in the liver clinic. Sorry, I can still think I'm at work. Upstairs in the loft. And for a moment, I was like, what did Tim drop? And then it dawned on me, he's not home.
Oh, shit.
Oh, hell no.
But I wasn't thinking paranormal. I was thinking freaking raccoons.
Oh.
Y'all know how I feel about raccoons.
Yeah.
No.
Was there raccoons?
I don't know. I came up here, I checked, nothing fell. But when Tim got home, he checked the closet that we have up here, and I guess one of the boxes fell inside the closet, so it's blocking the door from opening. But I told him, but how would that box fall? Like, they've been stacked up like that for like months, and like, what made it fall down? And he goes, I don't know, maybe a raccoon's in there. I was like, don't tell me that.
Raccoons.
That means they're in the house.
I know. Ooh, no, I don't do raccoons. I hate it. I hate them. No.
It could be. I mean, our little cracker box fell over the refrigerator and it freaked me the flip out.
Mm-mm.
I was like,
a roach. I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
roach. It's all little.
Roach. It was a big ass box. That's a pretty powerful roach, man.
It was a ghost of a roach.
It probably was because we were watching that creepy episode of Smallville that you forgot to tell me about.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Uh-huh.
What episode?
The one where the creepy doll where the little girl is like supposedly a ghost, but she's really just a clone, like her dad cloned her.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yes, I was like, Mandy didn't tell me that this was creepy, and then a doll started talking out of nowhere. I was like, oh, hell no.
There's a few more episodes like that, I think.
Oh, there you go. There's your heads up, girl. I haven't seen Smallville in years.
I can't tell you like what season, which episode. I just know it's a couple of them.
Oh, yeah.
But it's okay. It's really good, so you won't be, it's a good show.
Yeah, it's a good show.
Yes. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. So the asylum I covered is Beechworth Lunatic Asylum, and we are going to be traveling to Australia today, Victoria, Australia, because this is the closest we'll get to traveling now. So Beechworth Asylum was the largest asylum of all of Australia. By the time the asylum closed its doors for good in 1995, numerous patients had died during its 128th year reign, and was voted the most haunted buildings in Australia.
Damn.
So literally, when I looked up this asylum, it had like the number one haunted building in all of Australia. Like, there's some other haunted like asylum, like small asylums that they have, but this one was ranked number one. Ooh. And now I know why.
Great. I'm excited.
I'm not.
I was really upset about this, but at the same time I wasn't surprised. So it didn't take much for somebody to become a patient at the asylum. So basically all it took was a request of a friend or a relative and the signature of a medical doctor to basically declare that you were mentally unstable. So basically, if a husband wanted to get rid of his wife, all he had to do was go get a doctor to agree that she was unstable. They would sign the papers and then send her to the asylum. So almost all of the patients that were in this insane asylum were because the family members are trying to get rid of them, a husband or a wife was trying to get rid of their significant other.
Ew.
That's horrible.
Mm-hmm. Tim, if you ever do this to me, I'm going to hunt you for the rest of your life.
Do it.
Yeah, so that's basically all it took. It was super sad. Like,
that's insane, dude.
That's an insane asylum.
Yeah, well, I kind of feel like back then this is how things were.
Yeah,
like
everything was super easy.
Yeah, so some physicians who are alive in present day did some interviews, and they did state that there was a lot of troubled patients. A lot of the patients went through brutal treatment, and they had little hope to escape. So the Beechwood Asylum did not just treat adults, they treated children, they treated criminally insane. So anybody who was tried tried through the system and were considered criminally insane, they stayed at this facility as well. So the asylum was in full operation from 1867 through 1995. There were over 3,000 reported deaths and probably more deaths that were unreported. So those were just the reported deaths that were accounted for. So the asylum could treat as many as 1,200 patients at one time. That was if there were free beds. So basically, like if there was one bed that was open, the next day it would be filled up right away. It was just like when one person died, the next day, like there was a new patient in there. It didn't matter. Like it was like from one day to the next.
Oh my God.
So basically, one patient would die, so another could fill it or be released. But if a patient was released, they were released to be more insane than when they went in because of the brutal treatment that they went through. Patients were subjected to electroshock therapy. Some were experimented on with different drugs that weren't approved yet. Others were beaten half the time. Others were beaten, and half the time they were beaten to death. So this facility was home to thousands, and the place of torture and death to most. Some patients would share tiny rooms with nothing but a metal bed frame and an itchy blanket. Some would be confined in padded white cells, depending on their level of insanity. Since the closure, the asylum was converted into a hotel, a conference center, and even a building for a university campus. But all of these people tried to convert this building, but they failed. So whoever and whatever is lurking in the walls of the asylum did not like the disturbance of rebuild. Paranormal activity that was there was letting itself known to everybody. So no matter whether you're like sensitive to paranormal, whether you believed it or not, a lot of people reported that they would see everything. Like these spirits, like the paranormal activity there was like insane.
Dang.
So this is why all the attempts to refurbish the old building was a fail. A lot of the times patients would go missing and then be found dead weeks later. An example of this was there was a male patient that was reported missing, and the only reason why he was found a few weeks later was because there was a resident dog named Max. He was found chewing on a human leg bone. Then
oh my God.
The patient was found in a tree with one leg missing. So his body was so decayed that his leg fell off, and then the dog was found chewing on it. Till this day, no one knows how the patient ended up in the tree. So there's a lot of conspiracies saying that this patient was trying to escape. A lot of other theories were saying that one of the doctors were doing experiments on this patient, and there's other ones too saying that he was like human sacrifice or what have you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God!
Yeah, it's crazy. There's so much stuff on this asylum. It's insane, literally.
Dude, for his leg to like fall. Okay.
How long was he dead for his leg to be?
So they said that he was missing for a few weeks, supposedly. But they said that his body was so decayed that his leg fell off. But I call bullshit, because if he was that decomposed, he was missing more than a few weeks.
Yeah.
There's no way.
It was probably months, and then they realized he was missing, and then the so-called search was for a few weeks until they found the dog chewing on his leg.
Poor man.
My theory is that it was all a cover-up. They said that he was missing for a few weeks, but it really was months. They never reported it until the dog was actually found chewing the leg. Then they had no choice but to look for the patient.
Yeah, kind of like, he like is gone, so he's out of our hands, and then crap, we gotta say like we did something.
Yep.
Oh, that sucks.
Exactly. Okay, so everyone feared, and I'm going to butcher this, and I tried looking up on Google Translate, and it didn't help me at all. So I'm just going to say it how I want to say it. So everyone feared it's called the Grevia wing. I'm going to say Grevia wing. Back then, when you ended up in that wing, it meant a number of things. It meant that you were basically you're going to die either from torture or you're going to be brain dead due to electroshock therapy. There are many apparitions and voices that are heard down this hallway back then when like it was open, and then now in the present day.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and then down in the basement of the hospital, there are doctors and their unknown assistants who would store dead bodies in bags. And what they would do is they would actually be experimented on. Some say these bodies were down there in the basement for months before they were even being laid to rest by family members. Others were offered up for demonic rituals and black magic. Supposedly devil worshipping and human sacrificing was said to be held down in the basement as well. Most of these bodies were of those who did not have any friends or family to claim them, so there was no questions asked on why these bodies were never laid to rest. A lot of paranormal investigators stated that when they go down, a lot of paranormal investigators stated that the reason why there's so much evil and darkness in the facility is because what went on in the basement, along with all the torture and torment that these patients went through. So there was a photo that was taken by ghost hunter Alan Taylor, and I want to see if I could put it
in the chat.
I know. I was trying to see if I could put it in the chat, but I can't.
Whack.
Okay, I'm gonna post it on our Instagram later on tonight. So if I want to check out our Instagram later, I'll post it on there. But I don't think it'll let me put it in the chat. That would be really cool. So basically, he captures a young child kneeling down in the most scary part of the building, which is the Grevia wing. He also stated that him and his partner who was with him witnessed the doors being slammed open and shut, heavy footsteps. They caught a dark voice on the EVP saying, "Get out."
Oh.
But yeah, so like this picture that he took is super clear. Like you see like a little girl kneeling down and just staring at the camera. Like she's staring at me right now.
Please don't send it. Don't send it to me.
Send it to me right now.
Send it to you in text message so I can look at it.
Thank you.
No thanks.
Y'all want to hear their reaction real time?
I can't wait for Ashley's. She's gonna be like,
right. Let me prepare myself. I'm ready.
I'm sending it to them right now.
I want to see this picture.
Guys, I really wish y'all can see it right now. It says,
oh, I got the text.
That would be cool if it could.
Wow.
Right?
Girl. Like, that is a little girl. Holy crap.
She's cute.
It looks like she's holding something.
Your head.
Yeah. She's telling you, come here, Ashley.
Oh, hell no.
Buy me chicken nuggets.
Buy me chicken nuggets.
Oh.
I will drop kick her. I don't care if she's a little ghost child.
Oh no, I'm gonna call Ghost CPS on you, girl.
So the most disturbing energy came from the basement section of the asylum. That supposedly this section of the asylum housed the violent and very troubled and disturbed young adults between ages of 18 through 25. There are many, of course, dark entities throughout this facility, but there are also the light entities in the facility. So there's this nurse, she's known as Matron Sharp, or I want to say Sharp Hay, who is very caring and compassionate throughout her nursing career, even in the afterlife. When she was alive, she would go and sit down with the patients and help them be calm while they were going through electroshock therapy. So after she died, she would be seen by other employees walking down the hallway. Sometimes the employees would see her knelt down by a patient's bedside and just calming them down. So they say that her light spirit and her angelic spirit was seen throughout the facility. Sometimes they said sometimes too, like when you walk in, she would be seen running up to people to like greet them into the facility.
Ooh.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's
Like,
nice.
they would walk in, and then like she would walk up to them. Hi, welcome. Oh, there's another ghost. His name is Jay Kelly. So he was put into the asylum because he burned down his sister-in-law's house. So in his room, I guess he scratched his initials all over his room that he was staying in, and supposedly his spirit is seen in his room, like banging on the walls, or you could hear him banging on the walls like a madman. Sometimes you can even see him like pacing back and forth down the hallway in front of the room that he was staying in too. And also they said that you can hear like a deep, eerie laughter in his
No.
yeah. Another part of the asylum was where everybody would hang out. Was mainly for like the old people and like the young kids that were there. They would go hang out in, I guess it's kind of like a rec room. They had like cards there, rocking chairs. They would have like toys for the kids and stuff. So like you would see like the rocking chairs rock back and forth. You would see like the little toy balls going back and forth across the rooms and stuff. And then there's another one too. Oh, and supposedly, is it in the rec room?
Hold on, I'm gonna turn my light on because it's getting dark.
Are you scared?
Just a little.
My room is dark. I just have one candle on.
Okay, my light is on. You may continue.
Oh, it is the rec room. So in the rec room, there is a young girl that's being seen smiling and laughing. And also, too, she's being seen kneeling down in front of the wall and scratching the concrete wall with her nails and then wailing in distress.
Why are they always like kneeling, scratching something, crying, and laughing?
So,
I mean, it's an insane asylum. I don't think even as ghosts.
Like, the question comes up is that the little girl that the ghost hunter Alan caught in his photo that he took?
Ooh.
I think maybe. That makes sense.
I want to say yes.
Right?
I don't know.
I would think so.
So there's another spirit. His name is Tommy Kennedy. So he was working in the kitchens. He ended up getting killed. And supposedly when you walk through the kitchen, you'll feel somebody like pass by you. Like you'll feel somebody hit your arm or poke you. A lot of like ghost hunters and like paranormal investigators that went through the kitchen stated that they would feel somebody like jabbing something like at their ribs. Not like a finger, more like if it was a butter knife or like a knife poking at the ribs.
Is there ghost knives?
Rude.
Maybe.
Yeah.
There's a hallway. I'm sorry. There's a wall that's known as the ha-ha wall.
What?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So at the ha-ha wall, it says that you may encounter a dead ghost body laying on the ground beneath the high window. So supposedly the poor woman, there is a woman that was pushed to her death after a patient wanted her cigarettes.
Oh.
So at this ha-ha wall, you'll see the apparition of this ghost body laying there.
Oh, no thanks.
That's weird.
So a lot of people say too, if you end up going on a ghost tour at this facility and if you take your kids with you, that for everybody not to be surprised if your kid starts talking to other unseen children that are there, they have an imaginary friend. A lot of the times too, people say that they hear laughter and giggles surrounding the building and outside, surrounding inside the building and outside the building.
Mandy, why do you always have to pick scary ones?
I didn't mean to. That's why I said I kind of freaked out when I was doing my research.
Oh, she meant it.
So I actually found all of these on creepyghoststories.com by accident. All I did was like look up the facility, and then I found like their actual website, and then this website popped up, and I clicked on it, and I was like, oh my god.
Fabulous.
Supposedly, down the hallways too, you'll see like red glowing eyes down the hallway.
Oh no.
Some say that there's like super dark energy. You just feel like an ugly energy. You'll get like a shooting pain in your chest. You'll start getting stomach cramps. You'll get dizziness. A lot of say that there's you'll also start smelling stench of rotten flesh. Supposedly, people have seen the devil himself at the asylum because of all the evilness and nasty stuff that went on there when they were open. So there's a bunch of stuff. It's scary. I'm not gonna lie. I was scared when I was reading this.
Oh hell no!
You
bro.
can do ghost tours there. They do multiple ghost tours. They do historical tours where you just go basically for the history, which Ashley, I think that's what you would do.
I'm not stepping foot in that thing.
They do paranormal investigation tours. So they do like the ghost tours where like you're just going through the facility and they're showing you like the different rooms there. And then they do like paranormal investigations where you stay there and they host like paranormal investigations, like overnight stuff or whatever.
Oh
wow. They also have like special events there too. I'm not sure what the special events are.
Your wedding.
I think it's like reenactments that they have there.
Imagine somebody like having their wedding there.
I know. So if you're ever in Australia, go ahead and book a tour with them. I'll put their website on our Instagram.
Or in case you want to have your wedding there, who knows?
Book a tour.
Yeah, so that's Beechworth Lunatic Asylum in Victoria, Australia. Unfortunately, as you all know, the tours and stuff have been postponed through May. They've been postponed till May. And they're basically updating like all their websites and stuff. But yeah, so I think you guys should look it up because there's like a lot of different stories. A lot of people post pictures that they've captured there. Somebody posted like an EVP on the website too that they captured. I wasn't brave enough to click on it because I was by myself in the kitchen. I was in the kitchen to buy food while I was doing my research.
I do the same thing.
Yeah, so you guys should look it up.
That sounds very fun.
I will trust your information.
I trust you.
Yeah, I trust you.
No, I'll look it up. I like that.
Yeah, so I'll go ahead and get some of the pictures posted on Instagram. I'll post them tonight so you guys can. So everybody who's joining us tonight, y'all could go on our Instagram and look at the scary ghost girl picture.
She's actually kind of cute.
She is.
I mean, I guess.
Okay, ready? Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
It's because I always have to ask because sometimes you'll come up or like all of y'all will come up with like, oh, and like an extra little thing. Okay, so I did mine on Waverly Hills Sanatorium. So during the 1800s and 1900s, it was like a big time for tuberculosis. It was like, it was very terrifying and contagious. So back then there was like no cure. Louisville, Kentucky had like the highest death rate in America. Eventually with like donations and I guess somebody gave them a land or something, they started building a hospital. So they started building this hospital, which is the Waverly Hills Sanatorium in 1924. And then it opened in 1926. So it was considered the most advanced TB sanatorium in the country since there was like no medications. The patients were offered, they were just offered like rest, fresh air, food. So like basically they just to keep them quarantined, you know what I mean? Like, so it was kind of sad because they had to like take them away from their families and stuff. But they started like experimenting on these people. So patients were like exposed to UV lights. So they had them in this these rooms called the sun rooms, but they were like artificial lights. So that's bad for your skin, obviously. And then also like the fresh air rooms. It could be snowing outside, and these patients were sitting out there like covered in snow. So that was like, yeah. So it was like, or like imagine like either cold or like really hot. So they were outside just like thinking fresh air was going to cure them. Some of them had balloons implanted in their lungs. So like they would actually do procedures to implant balloons in their lungs and then take out two of their ribs and then expand the balloons. And that would kind of like, to them, it would kind of fill them up with air, and air was supposed to cure TB. I don't know what they were thinking, but not a lot of people survived this operation. I mean, balloons in your lungs. I mean, the people that survived, they walked out through the front door, but some people left through the body chute. So the body chute was a tunnel that went from the hospital to railroad tracks. They would throw these bodies down the chute, and then like at the other end, people were throwing the bodies into like these train things, and they would like take them away secretly so the other patients wouldn't see, because they cared about the patient's like mental state as well as like their physical state. That's what it would say. So by like the 1930s, tuberculosis had begun to decline. And then by like 1943, there was like already medication. So in 1961, it was closed down, but then it was reopened years later. And then from there was like stories that people would say. And then there was also unusual experiments like electroshock therapy. There was also a lot of budget cuts in the 60s and 70s, and it made like mistreatments and horrible conditions and stuff like that. So in 1982, like the facility closed for good, but it is considered one of the most haunted places here in the U.S. The hospital gained a reputation for being haunted, and people started sharing like their stories. They would see a little girl running down the hall. They would see like a little boy that plays with a leather ball. They would see like a ghost hearse. That's kind of scary, but like a hearse that would drop off coffins. Yeah, that's kind of weird. They would see a woman with bleeding wrists that was running around crying, asking for help. Like, I mean, I would kind of be scared if I saw that. The doors were always slamming, lights and windows were like, I mean, the lights would flicker and stuff, but there was no electricity, so how would there be light, you know? So people were like, why is there light there? There's no power. People would hear like strange sounds, footsteps. They would see a man in like a white coat. They would see him walk towards the kitchen, and then there was like this smell of like freshly baked bread. So I'm guessing that might have been like the baker or like the chef or whatever. Yeah. So, I mean, that would be a kind of like a nice ghost, right? Like he's just baking bread, I feel. So there was also in the 5th floor, room 502. This happened at 2 different times. 2 of the nurses committed suicide. One was 29. She was pregnant, and I think like her husband or her boyfriend like left her, and she got depressed. She hung herself from the light fixing or whatever. So she hung herself. And then the other nurse that also died, technically she didn't die in that room, but she threw herself out the balcony from that room, room 502. So people were saying like, what the heck are they seeing in this room? Or like, I don't know, maybe there's something there like telling them to kill themselves. No. Sorry, my cat is like on my paper. Scoot over. And then like so it was bought or whatever in like 2001 or something, and people are like restoring it, but like the people that are restoring it, they see like slamming doors, they see the lights flicker, people get smacked by like unseen forces. So then,
I just imagine somebody getting slapped on their butt.
Yeah, like imagine you're just there doing your job and someone smacks you either on the head
you across the face. You're not doing it
right. Do it right. So they're struck by unseen hands. And I think it's open right now, but they just do like tours. It's not like an open facility. Not in the website I read it. I think I read it on AmericanHauntings.com. That's pretty much all I got. I thought I got a lot more because I got like 4 pages, but I forgot I write kind of big. So, yeah, this is in Kentucky. So it's
Kentucky?
called, yeah, it says it's Kentucky's Hospital of the Damned. That's what they named it. I'm like, oh, chill out. But I mean, I thought that was pretty interesting. What are you doing? Sorry, my cat.
So the place is still open though,
Yeah,
tours.
Yeah, the people that bought it, they said that their goal is to restore it. So I mean, it's not being used like as a facility for patients. Right now, they're just like restoring it, and they'll probably do some ghost tours because there's stories of people going on ghost tours there. But yeah, I mean, you can go to Kentucky and go take a ghost tour there.
I wonder, like when they start restoring it and do like the renovations and stuff, if they're gonna get more activity.
Well, I mean,
that always
someone
happens.
got smacked. I'll be like, I'm gonna walk in there with a fake booty, like smack me, honeys.
Oh,
kidding. But yes, that was my little short story. Woo.
Well, I mean, mine are nowhere close to like y'all's because there's only been technically one reported like actual apparition that's been seen, but the rest is just like creepy stuff. So I did mine on the Danvers State Hospital, aka the Danvers Lunatic Asylum. So this one's located in Danvers, Massachusetts. It was built in 1874 by Nathaniel Brandley. It is 178 acres big. Like, it's huge. It's basically, it looked like a mansion almost, like a big, like it had so many different sections to it, and they even like added on over the years. So it became this massive like hospital. And the reason they built this hospital was because there was the main state hospital that housed like psych patients. That closed down. I think it was in South Boston. It closed down, and so the other surrounding hospitals, they were like at capacity. Like there was one hospital that could only hold like 1,000 people, and including like nurses and stuff like that too. But it could only house 1,000 people, and it was holding over like 15. It was like 1,500. So they were like 500 over capacity. So everybody in all the other surrounding hospitals were so like packed. Like there was no room. So that's why they decided to make it this one. So it officially opened May 1st in 1871. But it is closed now, and it actually was demolished in 2006. So it's no longer there. So basically, and what I thought was kind of cool about it was it's located like on a hill, right? So it's like a 257 feet high hill that it used to be like the hospital, right? But before that, it was called Hawthorne Hill, and it housed like little tiny like houses everywhere. And it actually, the judge that was in the Salem witch trials, John Hawthorne, he actually lived on that hill. Like he used to live there. Like he had a house and everything there. And before the hospital was built. So that's why everyone's kind of like, ooh, it was like already kind of like cursed and haunted because they built it like where the judge used to live. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So basically the hospital, it has most of what I've noticed is a lot of hospitals, they have this. So just like in Mandy's and in yours, they did a lot of experiments. They did like the, what is it called? The shock therapy.
Electroshock?
Yeah, they did electroshock therapy. They even did lobotomies on people there. Like, and they did what's called hydroshock. It has to do something with water, kind of like the electric shock, but it's something to do with water. I don't really know what it was because it started getting very scientific, and I didn't understand that. So, there was kind of like Mandy's as well. Like there was this girl, the most famous patient that was there. Her name was Marie Balter. She was basically abused as a child. And then she was put into foster care and she got adopted. But her adopted parents were also very, like they would neglect her. They would physically and emotionally abuse her. So she became very she had severe anxiety and she would suffer from like depression and all that kind of stuff. So they actually admitted her to the Danvers State Hospital and she was misdiagnosed. She was actually diagnosed as having schizophrenia. So they put her on so many what's it called, medications and all these kind of antipsychotic drugs and all these different kind of experiments for schizophrenia, which actually made her worse than what she was because she didn't have schizophrenia. Mm-hmm. So I think she was taking all of those for a good couple of years because she was in there for 20 years in the hospital. Wow. Yeah, it's so it's 20 years combined because she was a patient and then she got released and then she returned to the hospital. So she finally got the right diagnosis of medication and she was actually thriving after that. So she was considered not crazy anymore. So they released her and she actually got married. She went back to school and she got her master's degree in psychology. And she returned to the hospital and she actually became one of the spokespersons for the hospital. And she was like a head administrator in the hospital.
Dude, good for her.
I know, right? After they figured out that, oh, she doesn't have schizophrenia. Oops, my bad.
That sucks.
Yeah.
But I feel like that she, her being head is good because she already went through that. What the patients are feeling, she already went through
she's not going to let that happen to anybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah. So before, obviously, before her, the state hospital actually had an on-site. So basically this hospital it was called a functioning hospital. So it had everything. It had living in nurses. So male and female nurses, they had their own apartments on the property.
On site.
They had on site. They had their own garages. They had their own gardens where they would grow food and fruits and vegetables, and they actually had their own cemetery. Now the cemetery is where they had it, because they did have some old patients, but a lot of the people and a lot of the staff say that the cemetery is because a lot of the people that they did these lobotomies and all these experimental programs or whatever on them, that some of them didn't work out and so they would die, and instead of calling somebody or reporting it, they would just bury them in the cemetery. So the cemetery is supposedly super haunted. So in this cemetery there's only one person or one ghost mainly that you see walking around in the hospital. And back in, where is it? I think it was back in 2000 or 2002 or something like that. The hospital actually got converted into apartments. And so people actually started living there in the hospital. So they literally just cleared out everything and made those patient rooms into apartments. So people were living where people died and got experimented on and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, so, imagine.
I know. If they told me that, or if I found that out, I'd be like, bitch, give me my damn money back. I'm not living here. But there's only one eyewitness that reports an apparition being seen. And it was a little girl, Geraldine, I'm going to butcher this last name, Levasseur. Geraldine Levasseur stated she saw a ghost when she lived there as a child. And this ghost, she pulled the sheets off of her bed. And at first it was just she couldn't see anything. There was just her sheets pulling off the bed. And then all of a sudden it manifested into an old scowling woman. And she said that the little girl said that she never felt threatened by a ghost before. but that she confirmed that this ghost made her feel like she was gonna die. She's like, this ghost was like threatening me. She's like, I felt so like scared. She's like, I didn't even know what was gonna happen to me. She was like, but then all of a sudden, like it went away. So within the hospital, there's not many ghosts, but they say like if you walk through the hospital, you can like feel all the patient's energy. Like in some rooms, like especially where they did like the electric shock, you can feel like their pain. And there's been some reports of people actually having like headaches or like pressure points like within their head, within their chest. Some people feel like their arms are gonna be like if their arms are like falling off. Like they feel all types of stuff like while walking through the asylum. So it's not just like ghosts per se. Like there have been some ghost sightings there, but it's not like when they were walking through the hospital. It was more so when they got converted into apartments is when people started like seeing little ghosts like here and there, but it's nothing compared to the feelings that you get. And there's a lot of cold spots. There's a lot of places where people will walk in and they feel happy, and then as soon as they walk in there, they feel sad, like all the energy's been drained out of them and they don't know what's going on. They'll see stuff in there being moved around. But this was all before, because it's gone now, like they demolished it, but before, they took it down. Mm-hmm. And then so a lot of people feel like their hands or their feet are being bound, and that's because a lot of the patients there were actually restrained, like in their beds, and it was like an automatic thing. It wasn't because the patient's being violent or something. They automatically would restrain their patients to the bed. So it was very inhumane, like over there, what they would do to them. So the original idea was only to house 450 patients, but by the 1920s, because they kept adding on and on and on, they were able to hold 2,300 patients. But they started getting more and more patients, so they started getting more, crammed. And that's when a lot of the experimental, quote unquote, experimental programs started, is when they started getting crammed with more and more patients. Mm. Yeah. So there was actually, what I thought was cool is, have you guys ever seen the movie Session 9 that came out in 2001?
No.
Say it again? What movie?
Session 9?
No, it doesn't sound familiar.
Well, I haven't seen it either, but I watched a little trailer. Of it. But it's a horror movie, and I don't know too much about it, but it was actually filmed in the hospital in 2001.
Oh.
So some people say that while they were there, like on set filming in there, that a lot of the actors and stuff would be the same thing. Like they never saw anything, but they would like feel cold spots. They would feel like just really bad energy. They would feel like not necessarily evil. It was just mostly a lot of like the pain and suffering of like the patients. That's what they would feel over there.
Scary.
Yeah. So it was mainly just the so in the cemetery, people would see they would see like not many ghosts, but they would just see like little, like if you see like a shadow person kind of like from the corner of your eye, or if you see like something like that you're not really sure what it is, but you saw something out of the corner of your eye.
Yeah. Like orbs and shadows and all that.
Yeah, they would see a lot of those.
Scary.
Yeah, and then a lot of the graves in the cemetery, they didn't have names or anything on them. They were numbered. Like they weren't like you didn't know like who was there. It was just like, number 27, number 37, something like that.
That's sad. They don't even have a name.
Yeah, but that's mainly all it is. Like after it got demolished, when it was abandoned for a very long time, for a good like 7 to 10 years, like it was just abandoned. So a lot of course, like kids and paranormal people would go in there and try to like find something, but they never could see much because a lot of like the patients in there, like they said the nurses treated them really good. It was mostly just like the doctors. They would try things on them. And a lot, like the building went through a lot of superintendents. I think it went through like 6 or 7 superintendents. So it was like passed on and handed off to other people. But there really wasn't anything huge that happened there. It was just a lot of like, same thing. Like when people would go and paranormal people would go, they would just feel a lot of like bad stuff. Like they know a lot of bad stuff happened there, but there's not a lot of evidence like to show exactly what happened there or, you know, like what went on. And they tried to do, I think, I don't know who it was. They tried to do like, an interview with the Marie Balters girl, but she wouldn't really say like much. She did create a book, and it would what is it called? Nobody's Child. She was a co-author with Mario Thomas. Oh no, sorry. Yeah, so I don't know who the actual author is, but she co-wrote the book Nobody's Child, and that actually has not a whole lot, but she does have some testimonies in there from when she was in the hospital. And then her book was actually made into a movie in 1986. So there's also the movie if you guys want to check it out as well. There's not a whole lot in there because she doesn't touch on one. She says she doesn't want to. Either that, or I'm thinking maybe she doesn't remember because they did a lot of stuff on her, but I don't know. But
she like suppressed the memories or something.
Yeah, it could be.
I would too if I went through that. I don't blame her.
Mm-hmm. I know, but once she left, she had made a commitment to herself that she wanted to like get her degree, and that way she could like, you know, what I'm guessing from what it says, like she wanted to maybe help those people, you know, not go through what she went through, and not being like misdiagnosed and given the wrong, you know, like medications and you know, all that kind of stuff. So, but she's like one of the most famous ones in there. And if you read Nobody's Child, there is a little tiny snippet of what it was kind of like for her in the hospital.
Just the title breaks my heart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because she was abused, and she was put into the foster system, and then even her adoptive parents were not nice to her.
That's sad.
Dumbasses.
Yeah. But I don't know. I don't know if it was like even, you know, cursed or something from the beginning, because the judge or whatever that did the Salem witch trials lived there. So that's what a lot of people were saying. Like, oh, it's, you know, it was already cursed from the beginning because of that.
Rumors.
Right.
Rumors and lies. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, just like the negative energy negative energy itself can cause like activity to happen too. So that's probably what it was too.
Or it was manifested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like them doing like renovations and stuff to make it into an apartment complex, I'm pretty sure stirred all of it up even more. That always happens. Like they say like whenever you do like renovations like on your house, like sometimes people like start experiencing paranormal activity.
Yeah.
Because you're disturbing the energy.
Disturbing the peace.
Yeah.
But kind of scary.
That's mainly it, because it said mostly all this stuff started when they started getting overcrowded because there was too many people for the nurses and staff to handle. So like the patient care just started, like they didn't really care or take care of that many people because there was too many of them. Like they just so they were misdiagnosing people back and forth. And they didn't move the graves.
You know what that's from, right?
Yeah.
From where?
That's from Poltergeist.
Oh.
They didn't move
from where?
Him.
You still start the pot.
She's like, no, they didn't.
What if they did?
I was like, no, they didn't. And I was like, oh wait, it's poltergeist. It doesn't say anything in there about it, but I highly doubt they moved all those freaking graves. They probably did just move the headstones.
That's crazy, though. That's crazy. Well, like, at the Beechworth Asylum, they had, like, their own, like, graveyard or whatever, but, like, they would, like, stack bodies, like, on top of each other. Not, like, in the same grave, but, like, they would dig the hole, put the body, bury it, and then, like, dig that hole maybe halfway again, and then put the body on top of the dirt, and then cover it up.
Oh.
It was real bad, yeah.
I mean,
wow.
They do that here, too, to save, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Well,
when you're buying a little
well, I think that's
spot.
like if you want to be buried, like, I think, like,
Oh, but that's family, right? I mean, you don't want to be
Yeah.
buried with a random.
like, I think that's, like, my grandpa, like, he said when he passes away, he wants to be buried on top of my Aunt Sabrina, but they're not going to put him, like, directly on top of her.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But I think that's why they dig so deep.
Yeah. That's how it is. Well, that's how my grandpa bought his little thing. So it's going to be my grandpa, and then my aunt was buried, and then my grandma's going to go on top of that.
Oh.
It's kind of sad.
I totally forgot to mention this. So
No, I'm just kidding.
No takesies, backsies.
it's really
Just
cool. So many people over the years, like especially like paranormal groups, tried to go onto the site and stuff. And the one that I told you about, there was only one person. So they couldn't get access to the site. Like a lot of the people that tried before they started like giving tours and stuff, they couldn't get access to it. But only a few of them did succeed. And there was only one team, a Rhode Island paranormal research group. They investigated at night, and it's been like 25 years since they went, and they never released any evidence of that night, and they've never spoken about it. So something happened to them that night, and nobody's ever talked about it. Like they said they were going to go research it and go there. They got permission. They went in there, and that was it. Like they never said anything about it. They've never spoken about it. Yeah.
I think it's up to us to go. I'm just kidding.
I think so too.
Yep, that's 2 against 1, Ashley. Get your shit. Let's go.
We're going.
Well, now I know.
Oh, after quarantine.
After quarantine. Whenever that is.
May 13th. I'm counting down.
Maybe. It's not
maybe. Maybe.
That's scary. Well, the only encounter I have, I think I told on the episode already. It was the one here in San Antonio.
Yeah. Well, actually,
yeah.
I was going to do that one, like the insane asylum that we have here.
Uh-huh.
But there's like a lot of stories that say it wasn't even an asylum. Like people just made up rumors that it was something else. Either way, it's a creepy building. It was like one of those where like a juvenile hall, like where all the little bad kids go.
But isn't there a juvenile center like right next door to it?
Yeah, and also there's the state hospital right next door too, and that one's still open. So I mean, it's not even a real asylum. I don't know why they named it an asylum. So I'm like, I don't know if I should even cover the story because it's not like real. You know, I mean, there's a lot of paranormal stuff that happens there, and for some reason, it's really heavily guarded. We don't know why.
The next door.
Yeah, but you know,
I don't know.
Wait, what does it say? Yeah, that's right. It was also one of those where the firemen would practice, like a training camp.
Oh.
Yeah, but that's why I don't understand why they call it an insane asylum. I mean, it's scary to go in and they'll shoot at you, but it's not a real asylum.
They'll shoot at you and then call the cops.
Yeah.
I got shot at.
Mandy too, right? Last time you went was in high school?
High school, yeah.
I don't remember when I went.
I went to high school. My mom never knew that I went until she heard the episode.
Oh my god.
Hey,
I was like, yeah, I went. Sorry, Mom.
what's she gonna do now?
I know.
She's like, Mira.
Yeah, no, we got shot at and then the cops are called. But I didn't experience anything paranormal. It was our friend. So my friend Maddie, I went with my friend Maddie and her sister and like they're mutual friends or whatever. And we all went inside. We were all holding hands. We went inside. And then there was one guy that was left outside because he didn't want to go in. Well, he told, I guess like the next day, he was talking to my friend's sister and was basically like, yeah, Maddie's friend, Mandy, like, yeah, she was real scared. Like I was outside holding her hand and hugging her. Like she was shaking because she said that she was too scared to go inside. And then my friend was like, no, she was with us inside. And then they asked me and I was like, no, I was with y'all inside. Like, what are y'all talking about? Well, I guess the friend was saying that I was outside crying, scared because I was too scared to go inside. So he was outside hugging me, comforting me, and holding my hand. I was like, that wasn't me. I don't know.
No.
That was not me.
I
ghost hoe.
So I was, I think, it was our Black Eyed Kid episode. I think I was like, he was either hugging a Black Eyed Kid or he was hugging my doppelganger.
That's weird.
No thing. See, I would not, like, if you guys were like, okay, you can stay outside, I'd be like, bitch, no, I'm going inside. Like, I'm not staying outside by myself.
Yeah.
Well, he thought he was staying outside with someone.
Well, he said that he was going to go inside, but then I was standing there crying, upset and scared that I didn't want to go inside. So that's why he stayed outside to supposedly comfort me, but it wasn't me.
Just imagine like a ghost crying.
So then Maribel, my friend Mari told him that wasn't Mandy. Like, I don't know who that was. She was inside because I was there with her sister, the boyfriend, and then her little sister that was with us and her friend. Like, we were all together. He was the only one that didn't go inside. And we were like, how come he didn't come inside? I don't know. So we just like kept exploring and then come to find out because he was outside hugging, I don't know what it was.
Well, thank God nothing happened to him. Like,
yeah. Or he was outside. He could have been shot.
Yeah, that too.
If you go to I'm not saying for you to go to the insane asylum, right? Like here in San Antonio.
Yeah, no,
but if you go, because like, if you go, you will get shot.
The neighbors like he don't care. He will shoot your ass.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
Like, call the police. Wear
comfortable shoes and don't stand outside because that bullet could hit you. So go inside and explore.
Yeah.
What if it was like maybe it looked like you, but what if it was like, you know, like something good, like telling him like, bro, like don't go inside because something's gonna happen to you if you do.
Well, how come it let me go inside?
Well, because maybe it was
because you were a bad kid.
Because I lied to my mom.
Yeah, because you lied to Michelle. You don't lie to Michelle.
We went to the haunted mansion. It was during Halloween time, so we went to the haunted mansion, and then we went to the railroad tracks, and then we were driving around the neighborhood that has all the little kids' names on the streets. And they were like, "Hey, let's go to the asylum." Okay.
You're so good with peer pressure, girl. I love it.
Me, okay.
All right, let's go.
Let's go.
See, that's why I didn't hang out with y'all outside of high school because y'all do stuff like that.
I didn't even know you in high school.
What are you talking about? We hung out all the time.
Not in high school.
Like, no.
You're rude. You know what, Gato? We're gonna plan something and not tell Ashley and just drag her with us.
I know. Well, I mean, yeah, we need to do that. We're like, Ashley, we're gonna go get food.
Okay. We're taking her on Devil's Bridge.
Ooh, I went to the Devil's Bridge the other day. It was like 2 years ago. But I did not see anything. I even like stopped my car and stuff. And I'm like sitting there in the dark and my friend's like, can you just turn on your car? My friend Julie, she's like, can you just turn on your car? Let's go. And I'm like, no, we're at the Devil's Bridge. And she's all, what? She was all scared. And then I'm like, and then I looked at her and I go, I'm just kidding. It's Jesus's bridge. She's all, it's too late. You already said Devil's Bridge. But I didn't see anything. I was hoping to see something or hear something, but no.
Maybe because they were like,
poor Ashley. Don't feel sorry for Ashley. She's a little daredevil, this one. You know, we went to the trails at night. Like, so this was when like when they changed the times and stuff and it got dark like at 6:30. You remember that, Ash? Me, you, Nick, and Drew?
I tried to be supportive of my brother and his healthy habits.
We went walking around the trails. It was super late at night, and we walked through the wooded trails, and Ashley was fine.
I thought I was going to die the whole time. I seriously did. I was like, something's behind me. They were like, oh, you want to go into this creepy wooded like area where we can't see anything and it's getting dark? Sure, why not? And I'm like, guys, this is where we die.
Where at? The missions?
No, on Pearsall Road. The trails over there on Pearsall. Old Pearsall.
There's one little trail in the missions. Like the one mission that one mission that's before you hit the haunted railroad tracks. It's like a little mission. I think it's San Jose. Something like that. San Jose, maybe. It's not Espada. Whatever. So, like, you go in the back of there's, like, 3 little houses, and you can't, like, knock on the door or anything because there's still people, like, living in some of them. And so, like, you go through the back, and it's literally just all, like, woods. And if you don't know how to get back, you're fucked because you're just probably going to just stay there.
Die out there.
Yeah. By the aqueducts.
You remember that video that Denise posted? We forgot to talk about that. Of that thing that she saw in the tree.
Oh, yeah.
So our friend Denise, it was Denise? No, it was Destiny. Not Denise. Destiny, right? One of the D's. I think it was Destiny. It was Destiny. So she posted a Snapchat video on Facebook. And she's like, well, that's scary. And it was like a real quick video. But she zoomed in on
the Destiny.
It was like it's Destiny, yeah. It was her kids, I guess it was like baseball practice. Like the kids are like, talking, the parents are talking, and she's like
reporting. It was at a church, actually. I asked her.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it was on a church grounds.
Oh. See, it was Jesus.
No, it wasn't.
That did not look like Jesus. Well, she zoomed in on top of the tree, and to me, it looked like a lady in like a white dress. Like, just picture the little girl from The Ring. She's in the white dress. Her black hair is like all in front of her face, and she's just standing there staring at them from the tree.
You guys, my TV just turned on.
Throw it out.
It literally just turned on. I don't have the remote. It's on the bed.
I'll double check with Destiny. But she gave us the original video of her Snapchat, and I can ask her. We can post it on the Instagram so you guys can see it.
She said we could. I had asked her.
Oh, perfect. Well, we'll post it
on
Instagram tonight and Facebook and all that, so you guys can look at it.
Yeah,
because it's pretty creepy.
It is, and then you can let us know what you think it is,
and just bless yourself afterwards, because I did.
I was about to go spray my holy water all over my room right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna just...
It's Samara. Yeah, after you watch the video, your phone's gonna ring, and then Samara's gonna be on the other line. She's gonna be like, "Hey, what's up?" But yeah, so we'll leave like the last few minutes of the episode open to you guys. Do y'all have any asylum encounters or stories y'all want to discuss? Yes.
Did you almost get a shot like Mandy?
Don't be shy. You can call in if you want to and tell us your story, or if you're too shy to call in, you can type it out and I'll be more than happy to read it.
I think they're just shy today. Okay,
Tim's been to an asylum.
Tim, I believe it. No, I need to put you into an asylum. I'm going to get Dr. K to sign on the referral.
Oh, he'll do it. Or Dr.
I know he will.
They'll do whatever to make us happy.
I know.
I told Dr. K, I'm like, I hate wearing this mask. And he's like, that's better than the alternative. I'm like, what's the alternative? He's all, intubation. I was like, oh, okay. Never mind. I don't get intubated.
Intubation?
Yeah. I'm like, nope.
So, Sin, do you want me to say the story that you wrote me on Instagram? Well, too bad. I'm going to tell it anyways because I have proof here that you said it was okay. We pick on Sin. He's like a frequent listener of ours. He's like always on watch parties and stuff with us. So we feel like we know, like we're real close to Sin. We got you.
Same
So,
hospital.
I know. So we can't pronounce his full name. So we just say Sin. Sin nombre. I can't do it. So Sin wrote in and said, the one that sticks to me the most is when me and my friend went to a late drive to relax after a long week. On the way home, we decided to go through a cemetery that's by the south side. Her idea, not mine. I drive us by the fence, and we've always seen lights there during night. Lights that people leave on headstones, I guess. I don't know if you get what I'm saying, but anyways, this time though, she's talking to me, and while I turn to look at her, her face just goes blank. At the same time, I see outside the window there are about 4 to 5 people with candles and wearing black clothes. I didn't say anything about it only because I didn't want to freak her out, just in case we didn't see the same thing. We got to her house, and she starts telling me that she saw it and matched everything that I saw. I swear after that night, things kept getting strange, but stuff that's still going on too. So I told him, what if it was a cult?
Yeah.
So then Sin wrote back and says, I want to think it was just people being there late at night.
Yeah. Or it was a cult.
I think it was a cult.
And he said at that time I was working at Traders Village as the ground supervisor, so I would be there early till late at night. After that night, the thing happened. I went to work, and no joke, that whole day I kept seeing dead birds, and I think I might still have the snap pictures.
Oh.
I'll count how many I saw. Also, everywhere I would go, I would see cows, 3 of them, just standing in a triangle formation. I saw this nonstop for a week. Also saw the shape of a small dog on the road, and when I drove around it, it stood up on 2 legs. What?
No.
I totally missed that part.
What
This
the
was
hell?
maybe like 2 years ago, but I've been seeing stuff like that since I was little.
That's kind of weird.
Okay, Sin, I totally missed that part. What the hell?
Sin, I'm gonna send you some holy water, bro. Like, you
I'm
gonna
gonna send you some holy water. I'm gonna go buy the guardian angel candle. I'm gonna say a prayer for you tonight.
We're just gonna send you a big religious package. Like,
A big religious package.
Why are you listening to our podcast? No, I'm just kidding. Listening to us. Sin, I totally missed that part. I'm really glad I missed that part because when you wrote this to me, it was like super late at night. So I'm pretty sure I would have freaked out.
Yeah.
Just so y'all know, like, Mandy reads all of the stories first, and then she lets me know and tells me which ones are too scary.
Yeah, because when we get emails in, Ashley's like, she can't. She's like, hey, we got an email. I'm like, we did. And I look and I start reading. I'm like, oh, it's a good one.
Just tell her they're all good.
So at the same cemetery after the whole asylum thing, we drove away speeding and we went by the football field and there was a stone statue and I swear we all saw it turn.
No.
Is that the cemetery by over there by the railroad tracks, right? Is it that one?
Yeah.
That one has that statue of the Virgin that everyone says it looks like it's staring straight at you.
Oh, like her eyes follow you, right? Wherever you go.
Something like that.
Okay, but I can't get out of my head that you drove around this dead dog and it just stood up on its hind legs.
Like, that wasn't a dog, bro. That was something else.
Like, was it staring at you?
Oh, hell no.
Tell me, give me details. Elaborate more on this dog that you saw. I'm so curious. I can't get it out of my head now.
It was
That's
Courage the
just
Cowardly
creepy.
Dog.
F that crap, man. No way. If you drive by Palo Alto, it's the road in the front.
Villaret.
Did the dog look at you though, or did it just like stood up? Did it like stand up and walk away?
Wait, Palo Alto College, right? So that's Villaret, I think. Because my best friend lives on that street and I'm always there. Well, before quarantine. I've never seen anything down that street, though.
Do you go late at night?
Oh, yeah. I've been there till like 3 a.m.
Gato likes to be out when she's not supposed to. Just kidding, Gato.
Not right
Stay inside.
now. Said him. I was home all day.
Lies. No, I'm just kidding. Does anybody have any other stories?
What is it? I was at the stop and I saw a dog, so I drove around it. But as I drove next to it, I saw it stand up, and it looked like it was looking at the truck. That's kind of creepy.
That's creepy.
What if it was
I pictured the chupacabra.
Oh.
I don't know why.
What if the dog was only like looking at you like, bro, you almost damn hit me? What the hell is wrong with you?
Or
he's
like,
drive right.
No,
It's
but
all
like
fight,
weird,
it's all
like
fight me.
on hind legs though.
I don't know.
No.
Maybe the dog was like, square up. You almost hit me. What the hell?
Maybe it was a house trained dog. Yeah.
You're gonna draw it? Please don't send it to me, Sin. Send it to Mandy and Caro. I don't want to see that. Like, I'm gonna get scared.
Send it to Ashley, please.
Wait, what? Say it again.
He said that he was gonna see if he could draw it when he gets a chance. Like,
Oh
draw
yes,
the
then
dog.
send it to me on Instagram.
I don't know. I still think he was mad because you almost hit him. He was probably like,
No, I think it was possessed. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
No, it stood up on its hind legs and it was like, Ashley, where does she live? Just kidding.
Sin, we're supposed to be friends, bro. Like, really?
No, send it to our Gmail account, but in the subject put Dear Ashley or Attention Ashley. Aw, it's because we love you, Ash. Now she's not going to open up any of y'all's emails that y'all send to us. It's okay. I'll open it and I'll make her read it.
She'll tell me, it's a good one. It's not.
It's a good one. It's like a picture of like a demon dog.
On its hind legs.
Wow, Tim. I see how it is.
Sin. Sin said that he's gonna title it Bug Pics.
Y'all wrong.
Oh yeah, guys. For those of you that if it's y'all's first time listening, and Ashley's the pug lady. Like they have cat ladies and dogs. No, Ashley's the pug lady. So if you ever want to send us scary stories, you could put attention Ashley, send a scary story, and at the end put like a picture of a pug.
I'll forgive you if you send pugs.
Zombie pugs.
Oh no. No. I don't know. They might still be cute. I don't know.
Maybe.
I'm gonna Google it. Zombie pug.
Betty, I'm gonna save your stories for another episode because I have an idea with yours. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna leave everybody in suspense.
Yeah.
Suspense.
Oh, zombie pugs, not cute. Not cute.
So Sin said that he has drawings of some stuff that he's seen. He said to look for his book and send us some recent stuff. Well, you guys, that's going to be it for tonight. Make sure you follow us on our social media, our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube. I'm out of breath. At Podcast. If you have any encounter stories you want to send in, any suggestions, anything you want to send it to us at scarynotScaryPodcast@gmail.com. You can also visit our website, email us through our website at scarynotScaryPodcast.com. And don't forget to leave us a review on Podbean. You can also leave us a review on the iTunes podcast app. Follow us on Spotify. Follow us on everything. Don't miss a notification. We update everybody on all of our social media. Our next live show will be this coming Sunday. We took this past Sunday off because it was Easter. And it was my baby's first Easter, so we wanted to, spend some time with her. But yeah, we'll be on again next Sunday at our normal time. What time is it? 5:30?
6:30.
Is it 5:30?
Oh, today was 6:30.
We'll be
I don't
on.
know, girl.
We'll be on
Sunday.
next Sunday. We'll figure the times out later. But yeah, I think that's it. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you so much for listening and for supporting us. Stay home, stay safe, stay healthy, and remember to always stay scary.